Is the audio live? Welcome back to the game. After us bitching about the first game, so many stoppages. The streamers caused a stoppage this time. My ping, after holding up for 2 hours perfectly to stream the last game, decided that it was pissed off, couldn't do it anymore, and gave me a nice 900 ping. As we re-enter this game, I've got a nice ping of 30. So it was actually just the streaming that was killing me. But we re-enter this game for the second half of the first game. Still a long way to go. Did it finish 3-1 to Rolling BC? Are you able to stream and commentate as well, or do you want Chris to take more front seat? It's up to you. All right, Chris, work with me. Dundaddy's away here, though. Dundaddy trying to hit back. They are down by 1, but he's got a good chance here. He's ahead of 3. Deadman is forced to grab. He goes against the back wall. They don't get the return. Hypo does, but too little, too late. Orb gets a good return there. Pooh has got away at the other end, and we didn't really get time to discuss too much about the tactics due to the stream issues. So big apologies once again. But Tagenham really do need to hit back, but they started to find the rhythm at the end of that first half. And they've got 9 minutes in the second half of this first game to make up 2 caps as it currently stands. As Dundaddy boosts along the right hand side. He's coming in here though, and Ron Burgundy grabs is returned, but Dundaddy was returned in the meantime. Pooh was away and is away down the bottom. Deadman is coming in here though. Hypo looking to get the return on him, and he does so. But Orb has got the re-grab at the other end. Pooh has picked up a rolling bomb though. He's not able to kiss with Orb though, and Orb is able to get away. Pooh just kind of running around a little bit as Wilson should get Orb here, but Orb manages to escape. Wilson gets a return the second time of asking. Who with that rolling bomb goes after Liddy. He's going to cap, and he does. They've hit back. It's 3-2. Can you believe it? We might have another corker on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen, as the Dundaddy comes in. The Dundaddy, they end up face full of spike to Rolling BC. Dundaddy's got 1 to beat. He should do it. Why can't they block Ron? They finally get the blocks. He's equalised within 2 minutes of the second half. And Rolling BC are pegged back. It's 3-all. Chris, I mean, I don't know what happened. I think I saw Orb and Deadman seem to get spiked or something. What happened?
I think one of them was trying to get the boost return. I'm not even sure what happened. I was just watching the flag carrier. Next thing I know, he's there and everyone's dead behind him. That was really insane, though, and they did really well to... Dundaddy did really well to... Did he score both caps? No, I think Pooh got 1 and Dundaddy got 1. Yeah, they both did really well there to kind of hit Rolling BC on the break.
I mean, Rolling BC won't know what's hit them. I mean, but it's a double tag pro. Pooh and Dundaddy's away with a tag pro. They got 3 tag pros. They got 1 on D. Surely they should cap here. As Liddy goes after Dundaddy. Liddy's going to get Dundaddy. I think no. Dundaddy runs it. Pooh finally get. Dundaddy's coming in here. It's clear. They're going to take the lead. I do not believe it. Rolling BC behind a 3-1 lead. And I don't know what Hypo said in that extended break, but whatever it did, it's worked. They're in the lead. It's 4-3. And I don't think anyone saw this coming. Did you, Chris?
No, definitely not after the first half. No way. I thought Rolling BC would start as they started the first half and just shut them out again.
This is truly going down as one of the epic semi-final weekends. I don't think MLTP will be able to compete with this stuff as Deadman grabs and is returned by Hypo. I mean, this is just an exceptional game so far.
Rolling BC need to get their composure back. They look all over the place at the minute.
And who in their channel is going to be leading that? Who's going to, grab them by the scruff of the neck? And
I think Liddy and Deadman will both be losing their shit right now. And Orb and Ron are the cool kind of customers who will, probably be calm. But I think Liddy and Deadman will both be. I think Deadman will be, of the opinion they can still do it. And I think Liddy will just not be happy with probably anything.
So we've got 6 minutes 23 left, and currently dramatic scenes as Tagenham have absolutely hit back here and are currently up by 1 cap. It is 4-3 overall. Deadman grabs, is returned. Orb grabs and is returned. A bit flaccid there. Maybe panic setting in. Dundaddy's here. Dundaddy's ahead of 4. They're going to be up by 2. I do not believe it. I mean, Tagenham are a strong team, but the way that they capitulated in that first half and were down 3-0, it looked like it was going to be a routine rolling BC victory, and we were already thinking rolling BC versus BFG in the final. But Tagenham have hit back here and are up by 2. Their power-up control's better. Pooh has got this tag pro here. He's coming in, and Dundaddy could grab and get away again here. Pooh giving great support. Dundaddy grabs. Pooh takes out 2, and Dundaddy is ahead of 2 here, and Ron Burgundy's been chased with a tag pro. He heads down to 3. They could make the gap 3 here. He goes to boost against the back wall. There's a grab by Deadnan, who's returned, getting a little bit flaccid there, but they escape. They managed to escape that one. But Pooh gets away from Deadnan here, and Pooh's coming through the mid. He gets under Liddy. I can't believe he squeezed under him, but he can't squeeze under Orb, and he gets returned. Ron trying to get something going for his team, grabs, but he's returned as well, and they can't break this regrab train at the minute, but they finally do, as just as I say that, Liddy gets the return on Dundaddy, and Pooh is not able to get the regrab as people battle for power-ups. What are your thoughts on this game? Incredible stuff.
It is incredible, really incredible. Like, after that first off, you would have never saw this coming. You just wouldn't have believed this to be possible. But Tagenham are definitely proven my opinion. I mean, I knew they had a strong defense, but I thought that Deadman and Orb would be too much for them.
No, I would tend to agree. I mean, I guess you just can't. I mean, I'm lost for words, basically. It's an incredible game so far. I mean, a lot of talented players, but I mean, Rolling BC have really stormed it this season. And you'd always consider Tagenham to have a chance, definitely, and being able to win, but after being 3 caps down, it just seemed that it was away with them. And they're going to have, and I would back Hypo and Wilson on D to really shut it down now and hold on to this victory. Maybe it just did take them a little bit of time to acclimatise playing with Orb and Deadnan. I mean, Devo, what are your thoughts on this situation? This week, Orb's away here. He's coming into base. Pooh is in base, but he's trapped at the minute. But he manages to get away and save his team there. A very good play by Pooh, and he's at the other side of the map. As Wilson and Hypo look to hunt down Orb. They've not managed to do so as of yet, but I think 3 power-ups maybe going to Tagenham there. They've certainly got better power-up control at the minute, Chris.
Definitely, yeah. You can see that they've, I think out of the last few rounds of power-ups, they've got them all or just missed out on 1. So they're definitely more, I don't know what the word is, disciplined for it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see in the game, either if it comes in officially in the game or when Kira gets his script all kind of nicely polished, to actually kind of start seeing stats about power-ups and who's got what. Give us a real insight into the game. Pooh, in the meantime, is away down the right-hand side, but Orb gets a return. Deadman has got the flag, but he's currently sitting in the middle with Wilson and Hypo to beat. Dunday's got the grab in the meantime. He's just sitting, waiting at the boost. He chooses to boost up to the top. That's a nice boost. Takes a few players out of the way. He's currently hanging around the middle. Deadman being forced back towards the Tagenham base. He's picked up a tag pro. He's kind of cornered. Wilson needs some help, but he manages to get through the gate with the help of Ron Burgundy. Dundee being chased through the middle. End-to-end stuff at the minute. We've got 2 minutes 30 left in this half, this second playoff game of the night, the second semi-final. The first game was an absolute thriller that lasted close to 2 hours, and this game is looking like it might be going a similar way, hopefully not in length, but at least in excitement terms, as Pooh is trying to get away. Hypo's giving some good support over there, and he does manage to get away. Denan has got the flag in the meantime, and no one actually giving chase. They're all teaming together to help Pooh get away, but no one giving chase to Deadnan, who's currently cruising around the Tagenham base. A minute 55 left. Flag out of base quite a lot in this game so far. Neither defense managing to shut it down as much as they perhaps would like. Minute 45 to go. Pooh picks up a Juke Juice though, and that's going to allow him to run the map for quite some time. Deadman not yet returned, has been carrying, this carry's been going on for quite a while as well, but Hype, as I say that, curse of the commentator, Hypo gets the return, and Pooh is bringing the flag home. He's ahead of 3. There's only Orb in his way from Burgundy Capital. He's been forced to rush. The blocks are there. Ron Burgundy grabs and just gets away. Oh, Ron, that was exceptional play there. Risky play. Ron, the recent 100-degree club member manages to get away there and then kisses with Pooh to make sure both flags are returned. But Rolling BC yet to cap in this half. I'm not sure how many times Rolling BC will have played this season and not capped in a half, but this might be one of their first. I'm sure Rems or someone will be able to drag that stat up maybe for us, or someone anyway. But they've got 50 seconds left in which to cap. They're currently down by 2, and we're going to need something dramatic for them to get back in this game. But it could happen here. But no, Hypo gets a return. Deadman. Yeah. So what's the score overall? Is it? It's 5-3. Yeah. So
5-3.
Yeah, but Orb's coming in here. Orb's coming in. Wilson's grabbed though. Oh, but they get the return and that allows Wilson to get away. That was the closest they've come to capping. There's 30 seconds left, and Wilson should just run the clock out, really. He boosts, he's in his base, but he's just going to run around. But yeah, it's 5-3 overall, and it looks like Tagenham and Rektbridge are going to take the first game, and that means all they need is a draw in the second game, and they will be in the final against BSG, that controversial game that we had earlier. Dead9 trying to get something going for his team. It's not going to happen, though. And we're going to finish the first game at 5-3, and Tagenham have taken it. Who saw that comeback come in? What a fantastic comeback. 3-1 in the first half and 4-0 in the second half. Tagenham, exceptional stuff. Chris, your immediate thoughts?
I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. Like in the first half, Tagenham just looked, a step behind. They looked like they were missing something. I don't know what that little break helped them do. I don't know if one of their players needs to leave early or something, because Hyperdome was trying to get this game in as soon as possible, and whether they're just pissed off that it's took so long to get going now, and that they're angry. But whatever happened, something happened, and the momentum has definitely shifted, and it's all down to Rolling BC now. They've got it all to do.
The people on the stream here, give us your views. Let us know how you reckon the second game's going to go. What went wrong for Rolling BC there? I mean, we're praising Tagenham, how they got it. They had good power up control, and they shut it down a bit more in defence. But I mean, Dave, what do you think? What Rolling BC just weren't themselves, really. I mean, they play like champions all season, so if you're going to be champions, you need to have the mental strength. You can't just, you can't just, I'll probably use the pun roll, but you can't just roll through the season and not face challenges. I guess it's a test of a true team to be able to come back when they're losing in times like this. How's the stream looking for the second half? Fair enough. And you don't use Chrome normally? What do you use? Oh, God. It is disgusting. We're just there is a slight delay. Deadman is having a poo or something like that. I'm not sure. Or rage quitting, something like that. I would like to predict which way this game's going to go. I mean, in my gut, I feel like Rolling BC will win this half, and so we're going to be going to overtime again. But it could be some dramatic stuff if it's going to be really dramatic if Tagenham take it.
I'm with you on that. But by the way they've started the first half, I think they can if as long as they can regroup and get their composure back, they should be able to do the same in the second half. However, Tagenham have shown there's certainly no pushovers, and in the end, it showed that their defense was more solid.
I mean, apart from the stream, there's always one. So we are getting the second half underway. Second game, sorry. First half, second game.
2, 1.
As people go battle for the power-ups, there's Juke Juice for Dead9 gets a Juke Juice, Lydia gets a Juke Juice, but Pooh has got a tag pro, so that could be very useful as Pooh comes to help his offensive partner, Don Daddy. Orb getting Sunball 48, never logs in. Sunball 48, that's the highest I think I've seen him play with. Deadman's got away though here. And Deadman's away. Don Daddy is away at the other end. They're looking to kiss here, but they managed to avoid the kiss. Don Daddy is running into trouble. Liddy has got the return, but Pooh is there, of course, with the regrab away along the bottom. And I think, do you reckon we're going to see it be quite tight at the start, or are we going to be straight back into the kind of all hellfire kind of style of playing?
Um,
Do you agree with that, Chris, or do you think differently?
I think it could be. I think the thing about Tagenham is the Roland BC may have to go for it and may have a lot to prove, but I think the game could pan out a bit slower than that because Tagenham are going to be holding this now and they're going to be knowing that any mistake that Roland BC make is going to cost them. So as long as Tagenham stay disciplined, I think Hypernome is going to keep his team disciplined.
So to cut you off though, Ron has got away, Orb giving him a lot of help there. Tag Pro taking out, and he's ahead of everyone. There's just Don Daddy there blocking, but he's getting blocked out. And Roland BC have got an early cap in this game. Brilliant support offense by Orb there, absolutely decimating the Tagenham and Rektbridge team, and they've got a 1 cap lead in the second half, which they desperately need. But we've seen so many things tonight. We know we can't count our chickens until they've hatched. As Orb boosted, gets a grab, and he's got away from Wilson and Hypo nicely there. He jukes to Wilson overcommits, and he's running to Hypo right here, and he's going to face a challenge to get past these two. Denan, I'm not sure where Denan's going. Denan's going for power-ups, I think, rather than regrab. And if a tag pro pops up, which it does, that could be crucial things. Debts are saying they can't hear you, but Orb's coming in here. He's following Denan through traffic, and they've capped. And again, we saw that cap in the first half, didn't we, Chris, where it was really, really, really good use of a tag pro. Almost, it's so well drilled, military-like almost.
Yeah, I think that Orb and Deadman have played with each other enough to know what each other are going to do, etc. Like Hypernome and Pooh there almost had the same thing going. But yeah, I mean, I think it's arguable it should be a guaranteed cap when that happens.
So we've got 7 minutes left, and currently Roland BC are up by 2. They were up by 3 in that first half, so not sure what's going on. But Pooh's coming in here. He's got 1 to beat. Denan's been blocked out by Hypo, and he just rolls onto him. And they'll be desperately disappointed that they didn't cap there. They had the time to take just a little bit, maybe a fraction second longer than they could have taken. Don Daddy's waiting for that power-up in that bottom corner. He gets a power-up, and Deadman's returning in the meantime. But Sunball 48 has managed to get the regrab, and he's going to pick up a rolling bomb. And the flag is cold. He's got a rolling bomb. The rolling bomb is neutralised. He uses it to get away, but this could be dangerous here. But he gets Wilson, right place, right time, gets the return as Orb boosts straight into him. Deadman, 123-degree player, manages to grab but gets returned routinely. Currently, Pooh covering for Hypo until Hypo gets back. Hypo is back, so Pooh goes on offense. Don Daddy battling by himself with Ron and Liddy at the minute. I don't think he'll get away by himself, so he needs some support. Pooh comes to support him. In the meantime, Deadman has grabbed. He's looking to go through the gate, but he's not able to. This gives Pooh and Don Daddy a chance to get a grab at the flag. Don Daddy looks like he's going for the middle power-up, though, to battle Deadman for it. And I mean, we always talk about how power-up control. Oh, sorry to cut you off. Pooh's here. Pooh's away. He's ahead of 3. There's no blocks. They left where Hypo and Wilson. They went for power-ups. If they stayed in base, they would have had the block on Deadman and Pooh would have capped. Poor error of judgment. Poor communication there, you'd have to say. But they could make up for it here. Ron Burgundy's forced to grab. Hypo gets the return. They've only got lean to beat, but everyone storms in now. And the chance is gone. I don't know if you take the same view on that, Chris, but it seemed that there wasn't the communication there. And they went for the power-ups as Pooh gets returned. Where naturally, Wilson and Hypo staying in would have given the blocks and would have got the cap, certainly, and got the team back in it.
I think Devil mentioned at the beginning, before we watched the very first game, that a defender can get isolated and get out of position, go for power-ups. And I think we saw that in the first game as well with New Compton Baz, allowed that to happen to them a few times. And it certainly cost Tagenham then. It really did. It was unlucky.
But still, they're certainly not down and out. I mean, they won that first game, which gives them a nice little cushion As you wish. I mean, we always talk, as I was saying earlier, we always talk about power-up control, how power-up control is very good. Or it needs to be very good if you're going to win. But power-up control seems to be about more than just keeping the times, isn't it? You know, it's actually be able to battle and win for the power-ups. And we'll come back to this moment. He's going to boost. He's boosting against the back wall. He's got 2 in base to beat. Oh, there's a grab and a return. This is that left hypo ahead of 3. But Orb has got the grab at the other end. And Orb is ahead of 2 here. And he's coming in. And can Rolling BC make it 3 once again? He's waiting just behind the gate. He's currently got 3 to beat in base. It's very difficult. He's given some time for Deadman to get the regrab. He's waiting for the boost. The boost comes, but a little bit too late. Liddy's a bit out of position now. Orb just taking his time. Knows there's no real rush. Gets away from Wilson, and he's ahead of Wilson. That's good blocking by Liddy, but there's still 3 people there. Deadnan just relaxing. I think Deadnan's going to go for that middle power-up in the meantime. And I mean, yeah, as we talk about power control, it can be difficult when your flag's out of base to remember the power-up times, isn't it?
Well, this is one of the maps that you'd argue that you don't want to grab without a power-up of any kind, or, you know, it's really difficult to grab without a power-up of any kind, but it's also not a very wise decision to do that as well. So they really are important on Boombox, in my opinion. And I think we've seen that throughout all the games as well. I think that really speaks for itself. The power-ups change games on this type of map. Like there's maps like Holy See, even though they have a sporadic range of power-ups, they don't necessarily matter as much as they do on a map like this.
And we talk about power-up control, and one thing that I've never really, I would say, been taught as a new player, as we just watched Pooh coming in along the bottom here, is we always talk about, oh, sorry, Pooh's done it! No, he's got 1 to beat! He's got 1 to beat! He's round it! What a cap! What an absolute cap! I knew the second I started talking about something, there would actually be a cap. But that was exceptional there. He saw Pooh, he got round the 3, he had Orb to beat, he squeezed round him, and Dundaddy's looking to do the same here, but he manages to get returned by Liddy. But they've hit back here. They've got 2 minutes 45 seconds left in this half to get back in the game. And we'll try and come back to my point about power-ups eventually. But right now we've got a side game. Pooh's coming in with Juke Juice. He's got a lot to do here, but he does have that Juke Juice as he runs a few rings around Orb there. There is a grab at the other end. Deadman grabs, and that's a risky play. And it's not paid off as Hypo's got the return in. This little but Pooh gets returned as well. Dundaddy's got a re-grab. Deadman's there at the back, but not known for his defensive prowess. Means that Dundaddy's got away, but Deadman's got the return the second time of asking. But then bumps into Ron. And had he not bumped into Ron, it would have been a certain cap. It might still be a cap, but Pooh's got a tag pro, which makes it all the more likely. It's worth saying that if Deadman hadn't bumped into Ron, he probably wouldn't have got the return as well, so we can't be too critical there. But Pooh's got a tag pro, cleans up some defenders, allows Dundaddy to get away, all boosts into base. He's got 3 conversion on him, but he heads back towards the middle. So whilst both flags are out of base, I'll try and get to my original point. As a new player, I found I was able to remember power-ups and where they were, but never really told how to battle for them specifically. You probably noticed some players seem to win the power-up battles more often. Like, what tips do you guys have for maybe any new players watching out there about how to win, you know, when it's you versus another player, how to actually get that power-up?
I mean, personally, I try and stay the square beside it or above it or however, and I try and defend that square.
Oh, Pooh's coming in here. If they return, they do return him. Oh, I hope you saw that. I mean, they got the return on Deadnan, and Pooh was coming in. It was perfect timing then. They've equalised this half. I can't believe it. We've got a minute left in this half, and it's even. And if it stays as it is, obviously we've got a second half. But right now, if this is a draw overall, as Pooh comes in, he could give them the lead. He's past him. What a juke! Orb's boosted in. That was a certain cap. But then Orb's boosted in and taken the cap away from Pooh at the last second. That was absolutely incredible. That would have given them a 3-2 lead. Orb leading like a captain, saving his team there. That was absolutely incredible, Chris.
That was unbelievable. I thought it was.
Oh, he's coming in here. He's going to do it. He's going to cap. They get it in the second time of asking and tagging him once again. The comeback kings of this game. Incredible. They were down by 3, down by 2 this time, and they've hit back. They're 3-2 up and rolling BC. They're on the ropes. They're down and out almost, right? And they need to find the fight. There's 15 seconds left in this half, but they have to win, remember. And they're currently down by a count, but Deadman's coming in here. Can they hit back at the end of this half? Dundaddy grabs, so I don't think that he goes for the kiss. Pooh's grabbed in the meantime, and Pooh's got away. So as we roll to the end of this half, I can't believe it. Tagenham have won the half. It's 3-2.
Wow.
Whew.
I mean, what can you say about that? I think there's been a couple of times where Roland BC's defense haven't got in time to. I think if I mean, I don't know what Liddy's motive was for going to their base then, but when Dadnam was coming in, Liddy was on the other side of the map and he was going the wrong way. I'm not sure the flag had been returned and he hung around. Not quite sure why. I think they're just reeling off the counter caps and the big cap train and there was a lot of flaccid grabs from Roland BC as well, which was allowing Tagenham to really take advantage. I think they started to panic a little bit, and you could definitely see there at the end there was a lot of panic going on.
I mean, this is an absolutely exceptional semi-final weekend of ELTP. A real great advert for the league. But right now, I mean, RBC have, they're in trouble. They've lost the last two halves, and they've not lost them. They've not lost them by a small amount, have they? They've lost them massively. Just to jump in, Dave, did you show my stream key on Mumble? Great. So, can I? Okay. Because Squirrely saying that someone used my stream key to stream porn. So, Squirrely, I will find you and kill you. But I mean, I don't think we don't want to stream your mum online, Squirrely. So I don't think we should watch any porn. Thanks for the sympathy laughs. So anyway, back to the game. Roland BC need to turn it around to the league champions, but like last season where they choked on Giaquala last season, and everyone was thinking, everyone was thinking, that Giaquala might be their downfall this time, but no one really thought that Boombox would be their downfall.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, they had a really good run on both Boombox and Smirk, if I remember correctly, in the league. I think they were two of their best weeks, so it's definitely...
Yeah, everyone was thinking, that Giaquala might be their downfall. They can't hear you, Devil. They can't hear you. That Boombox would be their downfall. All right, cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, they had a really good run on both.
Yeah, they're probably just expecting to hear. It's like when I take a drink of water and people are like, "Oh, we can't hear you."
It's definitely.
So yeah, everyone was thinking. But actually, there. Oh, this can't hear you, Devil. They can't hear you. Yay. Boo. Oh, I've lost the group link. Are we back at it? No, I'm here. Don Daddy saying some people need to go to school in the morning and that we need to get going. It is 10 to 11. We start these games at 8 o'clock. There's only been 2 games. What's going on? And yeah, unless... Yeah. So come on, people in the stream. Bold predictions. Argue the case. Are Rolling BC done and dusted? Are they down and out? They're on the ropes. And they're tagging them. Going to get the final knockout blow. We will find out in the next 10 minutes. But currently, a draw is not enough. They're down by... Is it 1? They're down 3-2. It's overall, yeah?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I've really got to keep track of the scores. We're launching the second half. We are underway.
I think.
Quick look at the power-ups. Hang on. There's a tag pro in the middle, and there's a tag pro on the right for Tagenham, and just a juke juice for Rolling BC. If they get that double tag pro combination going early, it could be curtains for Rolling BC early on.
I think it might be worth mentioning that Rolling BC don't cope with going down early very well. I think a couple of times in the season when they've lost games, it's when they've been, like trying to fight back and kind of get back into a game. So that may have something to do with how this half pans out, but we'll see how it goes.
They didn't manage to get the double tag pro. Liddy managed to just get to the centre one ahead and stop that double tag pro combination, which was a vital win in the end for his team. As Sunball 40 now, or playing with every different number probably all season. Boots, but not able to get away. Dead now, Flacids and Wilson and Hypo really impressing me after their first half performance was quite poor. They've really started to shine now. And I think Kolak's been out of the stream earlier. There's actually 4 captains for next season playing in this game. Who have we got? We got Wilson, Hypo, Orb, and Liddy. It's quite an impressive rate of talent and leadership. You would assume
and arguably there's a few first-round draft picks in this game as well.
And there's a tag pro on offense for Rutland BC, and it gets returned, but that allows Deadnan to get away. Deadnan is away. Dundee is away at the other end. And Dundee just gets away and they kiss, which is probably vital. If Dundee had gone down there, it could have been big trouble for Tagenham. They're currently up by 1. They're in no rush. They just need to take their time, and they're into the final with a win or a draw in this game. We've got 8 minutes 25 left. Remember, after the game, I know some people will be going to sleep, but we will have interviews with players from both the first game. We'll go back and look at that controversial cap that was ruled out that in the end proved to be one of the deciding factors. We'll go back to that major talking point. Of course, we'll have interviews with the players of these teams. It's been a long yet exciting night at Tag Pro, and it's not over by a long shot as Denman grabs the Flacids as Wilson gets a routine return there. It's power-up time as Orb and Deadman battle with Don Daddy in the middle. So go on. We heard from you, Chris Devo. How do you win a power-up? Oh, Denham's coming in here. Sorry to cut you off, but no, he gets returned there. What about in a situation like this, the left and right power-up, where obviously if you get in there, you can block the sides, but then, sometimes it can get a bit, sometimes they get with 2 people sat on it, and it's actually just, but Orb's past Wilson, brilliant there. Sorry to go off again. Orb getting past Wilson, but he's still got a lot to do. Wilson grabs, very uncharacteristic for him. That was a bit of a risky grab. I'm not sure he was going to ever get away from Ron and Liddy there, and that's one less defender as Orb tries to come through the gate, gets the return. Deadman's got the re-grab at the other end. Rolling BC have got this re-grab train going, and that is what they need. They cannot afford to lose any more caps. Deadman going through number 2, goes up to 1. I think he's been told it's clear. There's no one on the button. Don Daddy grabs. There was a Flacid, and Don Daddy's going for the kiss. I think he needs that kiss, which he does get. Smart play there and tagging him. Maybe it's just me, but a couple of risky grabs. Dave, they can't hear you on stream anyway. Couple of risky grabs there so far. Maybe it's just me, but tagging them just maybe pressure getting to him a little bit.
I think it's natural in a game like this, especially considerably probably being the underdog.
Orb's coming in here. Orb's going into the back wall. And again, there was another Flacid grab. This time again, Wilson, usually so solid. And whether he's been pushed onto it or he's Flacid grabbing, it's worrying for Tagenham. They can't afford to lose caps. They're winning as it stands. They can lose 1 and they still go through. But it's not brilliant for them. It's all boosted on the bottom. The re-grab train going for Rolling BC. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to neutralise the re-grab train by simply... By simply grabbing and get away with the flags themselves, but it's a risky strategy. Yay! Everyone can hear the ego one, the evil one. Sorry. Apologies.
Evil one. We can hear you on the stream.
How much of it is luck as opposed to skill? And Pooh was grabbed here, and he did have a juice in Tag Pro, which helps him get away, but he is ridden by Liddy. There's no re-grab at the other end. That allows Deadman to get the grab. There's 4 minutes 30 left, and it's been a very, very quiet affair as this, and it can't be for Rolling BC. I think Tagenham being very sensible. I mean, aside a few grabs, there's no rush for them. They're under no pressure. A draw in this half gets them through. A draw overall gets them through. So no pressure on them. Rolling BC not really responding to the pressure too well. Hypo and Wilson really shutting it down, and Deadman and Orb just can't get anything going. I don't know what it is about Deadman and Orb. Sometimes when the pressure is on, like we were saying, Chris, they just don't seem to play with their natural flair almost.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be getting to them now. They know they've got to do something, and this could be the time they do it. I think. Orb was ahead of.
Orb was ahead of 3 players there, but that was fantastic work by Wilson. Dave, or give up. We can't hear you, or people maybe just don't want to hear you. But that's fine. This happened to me that time, remember. And I was the commentator there, so that was even more worried. But luckily, we've got Chris here, who is an apt replacement for Debo. But Don Danny's coming in here. He's only got 1 to beat. All's been blocked out. Tagenham are going to do it. And I think that's the count. That puts Tagenham in the final. Rolling BC, like we said, they've been on the ropes. And that is the knockout blow, I think. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. Hypo and Dennan battling for the power up, and Dennan out of position. Couldn't get the return because he's battling for that power up, I think. Was he down there at the time? And that's meant that, Tagenham, they're going, I think they're through to the final. Unless we see something else of epic proportions. And Dennan could start the recovery here. His team I think they will need 3 caps. Dennan gets returned though. What would it be right now? It'd be 4-2 overall, and Rolling BC need a win. So they need 3 caps in 2.5 minutes. It could start here, though. Orb's coming in. It's 2v2 in the blocks. Wilson grabs. It goes away. Orb gets returned, and Wilson looks like he's going to escape down the bottom. Is that right? They need 3 caps? 3 caps in 2 minutes. If anyone can do it, Rolling BC can. But running about ideas, panic
this could be
setting
it.
in. But they're coming in there. Deadman is coming in. Hypo's blocked out, and that's one of them. They need 2 more. The regrab train is not going, though. Don Daddy has stayed back and stopped the regrab. That's a smart strategy, Chris.
Yeah, it is, definitely, because they were on the ropes for a second now, as you said. And Don Daddy, I guess he's matured as a player this season, and I think he made a really good decision there to stay back and prevent that. And
Deadman maybe showing a lack of maturity then, just pushing against... I think it was Hypo and Wilson, and absolutely no chance of getting away yet. Flaccid and has to wait and Pooh's away here ahead of 2. Denan again grabs and gets returned, and maybe frustration really setting in for the Geordie lad there as Orb gets a return on Pooh. Ron Burgundy grabbing this time. Desperation is there. It's desperate times, desperate measures for Rolling BC. They got 1:20. They need 3 caps. They need 3 caps. Sorry, 2 caps. 2 caps. My bad. And. I think it's a lot to ask, but sometimes on this map, caps do come in pairs. But, Deadman with yet another Flaccid. You can see by these grabs, these really good defensive players, they're not grabbing like they normally do.
No, they're not. It's all or nothing now, and they've just got to go for it. And at the risk of losing a game by a bigger margin, they have to kind of grab as they can now.
Denan is away here, though. If they can get the return on Pooh through the gate, they do. Denan's coming in. He's got Dundee to beat. Dundee gets the return. Dundee again saving his team. Fantastic play by him. And that's the game, I think, for me. That is the game. What a moment there. He was coming in just on Dundee to beat, and Dundee gets the return. And Chris, I think that's them through to the final, would you say?
Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it.
25 seconds until Tagenham are confirmed as the finalists against BSG. We will have all the match reaction after the game, interviews with players from all 4 teams that played tonight, and probably a talk to some other people as well. It's been a fantastic evening of Tag Pro. Please don't leave us. Stay with us to hear some views. You can ask your questions in the stream. Wilson coming in, and I think he hits the wall. Otherwise, that would be a bit of a salt in the wound. But it's confirmed as Wilson just missed out on the cap. Tagenham and Rektbridge beat Rolling BC, and the league champions are out. And Tagenham and Rektbridge, after a long wait for this game, are in the final. Who saw that coming? Hands up.
No, not me. Never saw it coming. I knew they stood a chance, and after the first half, I just thought it was going to be a walk in the park for Rolling BC, just going to steamroll as they usually do.
Chris, I can't move anyone in, but if you could, because this whole drama about if you're allowed to have powers, but if you could maybe move some people in for interviews, that'd be great.
CRSD moved to Hort Island.
Rems, what a weekend of Tag Pro.
Oh, it's been a frustrating weekend. Why is it so eventful every week?
It's been 3 hours for 2 games.
Oh, it's the fact it's me having to. It's the stuff that comes to me every week.
Oh, okay, unsung hero.
Not unsung hero, no. It's just it was a very difficult situation in the first game. I'm really happy that the second game's gone nice and smoothly. Apart from a little hiccup with refreshing, but who knows?
Yeah, we probably just let that one go.
Yep.
We are just getting some captains and players, hopefully from all 4 teams that have played tonight.
I'm
We've got
really happy that the second game's
joining
gone
us
nice and
so
smoothly.
far. Rems, anyone else from your team on? Not that we don't love you, just
Apart from a little hiccup with refreshing.
That sounds really mean.
Yeah, we probably just.
I don't know. There'll be someone on the stream watching the stream possibly, but I wouldn't. It's understandable if they're not here.
Entered channel.
Leroy has joined us. Who are we missing? What team are we missing?
We've got Liddy here from RBC.
Oh, Maxie's here. So we have players from all 4 teams that play tonight. We've got Hypo, captain of Tagenham and Rektbridge. Leroy, the non-captain of Salzburg. Mike C from BSG. And we've got Liddy from Rolling BC. Guys, all I can say is, before we start, is this weekend, 2 games somehow lasted 3 hours, but it's been an absolutely amazing weekend of Tag Pro. I mean, I don't know where to start. I think we'll start with the game that we've just watched, because maybe the odd extra talking point from the first game. Liddy, massive commiserations, mate. Rolling BC, league champions, such a strong team all season. Just didn't happen in the semi-final.
Well, it just goes to show you can beat people like all season during the league, and then a team that didn't really surprise you too much during the league comes along during the playoffs, and they show you how to play a map that everybody should know how to play in a completely different way. And completely caught us off guard. Just go to show you can't know everything.
I mean, Rolling BC have been fantastic all season. No one would kind of take that away from them. I think if anyone was going to level a criticism at Rolling BC, it's that they don't know how to play when they're behind. Would you say when your team has been losing, it seems to be when you've struggled to come back. Would you agree with that assessment, or do you think that's unfair?
You know what? Actually, you're right. I don't know whether it's some kind of nervousness or panic that sets in from being behind. I don't know. Maybe it does something to the psyche.
What do you think? What went wrong today? Because I mean, you took that commanding lead in the first half of the first game, and then it just didn't happen after that.
Attacking technique's far too strong. Was able to get away far too many times from me and run on defence. Couldn't close them down through the middle. What with all the sneaky deuce over 4, and don't know, just couldn't cover that. Perhaps as well a little bit not covering directly at the flag on offensive defence as well. You can find yourself too far wide out sometimes. If I was to nitpick, maybe timing the attacks wasn't quite in time with thinking about going to get power-ups. I think you can be so committed to having both of your attackers attack, and then it takes you so long to do that, then you're out of position for power-ups. I don't know, maybe a bit more peeling off the power-ups and just generally being better on defence.
So, big commiserations, Lydia. I mean, to you and the whole of your team, you've obviously given us a lot of entertainment this season, and probably a bit of a shock in the playoffs, but well done for being league champions, and commiserations on the playoffs. I think we'll move on to Hypo. So, Hypo, I mean, congratulations. I mean, after that first half, 3-1 down, I mean, to come back in that way, I mean, did you surprise yourselves even a little bit in the way that you came back?
Maybe a bit. I think in the first half we just completely lost power control, and that was the one thing we were trying to focus on for the second half of the first game. We thought if we got control of that again, we'd have a good chance, and it worked out in the end. I don't know, it was kind of a surprise to beat such a good team, but I was very confident in my players. I knew they were definitely good enough.
And how was it waiting? I mean, again, apologies to you because it's not really fair on you or your team or Liddy and Orban team for the wait. But obviously, we couldn't do much about it at the time. How was it kind of waiting for the game to start? Was there a lot of nervous tension?
I don't know. It wasn't really an issue for me, but Wilson has to get up at like 4 in the morning or something. And Pooh and Don Daddy didn't want to stay up too late either. So I don't know. They might have been a little bit bothered by it, but there weren't too many complaints. And we understood that it wasn't really anyone's fault. Maybe it would have been good to get, I don't know, another set of streamers going, so we could have got, but there wasn't really time for that, I guess, to sort that out. So there's not much you can do about it. You just have to accept it and play on.
And what do you say? I mean, 3-1 down after that first game, rolling BC. Took a 3-0 lead. We're kind of turning you and Wilson over a little bit. Like, what do you say? What do you say to your team? What do you do differently to come out and smash them 4-0 in the second half?
I don't know. Wilson thought he was playing quite badly, but I don't agree with him on that. So I was just trying to rebuild his confidence, I guess. I don't know. I just was trying to make sure the team were confident because we thought we were playing quite well. We just lost a couple of caps to power-ups, so we thought we'd try and really focus on power-ups and let our teams and play our team's way, just with a bit more power control. So we weren't feeling like we were going to get wrecked. We were feeling fairly okay.
And any thoughts for next week? BSG in the final?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll just have to practice as much as we did this week and hope it comes out. Like, obviously, Red Bull Salzburg should have won, but that's another talking point, I guess.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I don't know. Newcom's pretty good at Giacomo.
Sneaky tactics. Oh, Giacomo. Sorry, I thought you were saying something different about sneaky tactics.
By the way, me and Newcomb agreed that if we're both in the final, then it has to be rescheduled because neither of us can make it on next Sunday. So Rems and Co can have a look at that.
You need to tell. Send me messages, please.
Yeah, okay.
We'll thrash out a day, I'm sure. But so, Chris, any questions to the players of the game that we just watched?
I mean, not really. Well played to your team, Hyperdome. You did really well to come back, and unlucky Liddy. Like you guys, on another day, it could have gone. I think it could have gone either way for either of your teams. But well played, Hyperdome, and unlucky Liddy.
Yeah, I'm sure the community will reflect that. That Tagenham really deserved that victory. But massive commiserations to Orb, Liddy, and the rest of your team for getting knocked out of this stage. We'll leave it there with you two chaps, and we'll move on to talking to Leroy and Mike C. Obviously, big talking points from that game, and I'm sure that maybe tempers might still be fraught. So let's try and keep it civil, gents. But we'll start with you, Leroy, if you don't mind. That game, I'm trying to think of a game that I've commentated that was probably more insane and up and down, and I can't imagine what it's like to be playing it because watching it was just such an experience for everyone involved. But I mean, the massive talking point, that cap. Can you give us some thoughts, insights on what your channel was like about that?
Well, it was pretty much we'd called the stop was called. And then Zero had got on the last second cap, and we were feeling pretty happy about ourselves. We're 2-1 up, they need 2 caps to force it to overtime. And we were pretty happy about ourselves, and then the whole forcing the rule thing happened. Rems came in, we talked about it, and at that point, I could just feel it. It was going to all go wrong from here. And then when they got that final cap, and they did force the overtime, I ended up getting really angry, and that threw me off. And I just played really badly during that overtime and pretty much lost it for our team. And BSG won it from that. I'm really upset. I'm really angry, but
I mean, I wouldn't beat yourself up personally. I mean, like from us watching, there wasn't really individuals at fault, and it took a last second cap to take it away from your team. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not trying to rub the salt in the wound, but
no, it's
like how did I mean that moment, that last second must have just been crushing.
Pretty much. I was there with Facman and I was stuck behind him. And there's lapse in my judgment, and I got caught out behind the block and just watching Nero roll in the last 5 seconds. Crushing that we couldn't push it to second overtime, at least. Because I was pretty glad that I got the cap in the first place to bring it to 1-1. And to lose it in the last 5 seconds like that, heartbreaking.
And how was it afterwards? I mean, did you know, how is the team now, basically? Is everyone alright?
I have no idea. I closed Mumble and closed my computer and went downstairs to eat dinner. Pretty much instantly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you kind of rage quit / hunger quit.
Pretty much. Came back upstairs to watch the RBC match.
Aside from the obvious talking point about the cap that never was in the end, you know, any thoughts on the game in general? I mean, it was a very closely hard-fought game, with Salzburg having the lead for quite a long time.
Yeah, the first game went really well for us. Facman got some really nice caps in, and our block just happened to work out. It was 4-1 in the end. And we're feeling pretty good going to the second game, where BSG were really pushing a lot harder. It's a much closer game, and you know, it's much more equal. Nerves were racked then. And the cap that never was happened. It was really well played, though, by BSG.
Commiserations ongoing now. We will come on to Mike C now, who I feel a bit sorry for, because I almost sense that he's kind of been sent out to face the firing squad rather than the captain, almost being sent out as a bit of a scapegoat. So Mike C, first question: where's Newcomb? Because he's usually here with the stats.
I figured it would be safer for everyone if I came rather than Newcomb.
I don't think you were wrong in thinking that.
Yeah. So that cap, right? Let's start with initially, before the actual kind of, was it a cap, was it not? What the fuck were you doing allowing it to be a cap in the first place, Mike? Because, I mean, I don't know everyone that was watching, but Mike had a rolling bomb, could have had a free grab, went for this terrible return, missed, and allowed the cap in the first place. It probably shouldn't have been a cap anyway. Mike, what was you thinking at that moment? Because we were in disbelief at what you did.
Yeah, I came into the stream and heard you all talking about what I was doing. I'm not entirely sure. They called stop, and I think my mind just went blank and decided to go for a turn instead. Forgot I had a rolling bomb.
Have you watched it back yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
I felt a bit harsh criticising you, though, after a good game and a great season. But that one moment, I mean, for a second, did you think, shit, I've lost it for my team here? Because that cap happened, you guys were out.
At that stage, it was 2-1, so we needed 2 more caps, and Fat and Leroy on defence were just amazing. It was such a struggle to get anything against them, and so getting 2 caps in those 5 minutes would have been impossible.
You're obviously biased. You're obviously because you play for one of the teams. It's bound to happen. When the cap happened, was your immediate reaction was that's not fair? They called stop, or did you think they capped?
I thought they capped.
And was it a very strong team thing saying it's not a cap, or was it more Newcomb? You could say no comment if you want, but no comment is the same initials as
NC. No, Newcomb went off and spoke to Newcomb, left the room pretty quickly. Yeah, we were just kind of sitting there in silence, like, so what happens now? Is that a cap, or we're not sure? I mean, we're kind of just sitting there, not sure.
I mean, you got to feel for Leroy's CRW on his team. I mean, the situation. In situations like this, I don't know how everyone else feels, but I always like to think about it like, how would I feel if it happened to me? And do you think the other way around, Newcomb would be quickly to be saying, actually, no, it's not a cap?
He'd find another rule. He'd find another rule which went against it probably, but the rules are there. I mean, I sound like a dick saying it. The rules are there. Going by the rules, I think it wasn't a cap, but most people could see that it should have been a cap.
The community was quite split. It ended up to me about 60-40 on whether it was a cap or not, or there was some hypothesis by myself that those votes was from Newcomb to itself. It certainly is a big talking point, and unfortunately, fortunately for yourselves, it's ended up having a massive influence on the game. So Tag Pro, like all sports, has somehow become the centre of massive controversy. I can't say the word. Someone say the word for me. Controversy. There we go. I got it. It's fine. Controversy. Ooh. Oh, Hypo just unmuted himself just to say it, and then and then muted himself. But overall, so forgetting the cap that never was. I mean, was it who rolled through for that winning cap, Mike? Was it you?
It was Nero.
It was Nero. How was that? Like that? I mean, that second.
Having slow motion, really. He's got a nice clear path to the flag. There's time on the flag. It's just watching him roll in. Mumble was pretty happy afterwards. It was good.
And what are your thoughts on facing Hypo next week?
Not looking forward to it. Hopefully
You're
there'll
not
be
looking forward to the final.
Not looking forward to facing Hypo on defense. Hopefully there'll be less controversy. Hopefully it'll just be a nice 40-minute game with no stops.
Don't be silly. Come on. Please, the CLTP final is at least going to last 7 hours.
Yeah, true.
You have to do it over 2 days.
I'm looking forward to it, definitely. It should be really good.
Very true. And I mean, hopefully we'll devise some controversy. I mean, I think some criticism that would be levelled at Newcombs is about how he always seems to find the rules to fit his favour, but I guess, I mean, that is what you get when A, you're a very passionate captain, and B, you're French. The combination of the two is almost lethal. But in the end, we did have a ruling. It's gone forward, and we have a final of Tagenham and Rektbridge versus BSG, which, if I'm quite honest, I'm not sure would have been people's predictions from the start of the season. But it's been a great season, and we now have a final that will be scheduled at some point, but it will not be on Sunday, is basically what we're saying. Red Bull Salzburg would, that's true, Leroy. Red Bull Salzburg would not have been anyone's prediction. Rems, you normally have a final bit to say. What's your final bit to say?
My final bit to say, I've been typing up things about this whole cap thing. But I mean, the final thing, if you haven't signed up for season 3, please sign up. We might, if you sign up today and you haven't signed up yet, we might even get 12 teams, which would be amazing. Sorry? We're at the minimum, but I need it to be quite a bit over the minimum for me to really say we've got 12 teams, because lots of people drop out or don't come on. So, yeah, if we can get like another 20-30 people, we could probably have 12 teams.
And on that note, it has been an absolutely amazing night of Tug Pro. A lot of people to thank. Firstly, thanks to all the teams for giving us a great game, and especially for people putting up with the start-stops, for Hypo and Orb and their teams for putting up with the delay. Big thanks to Rems for dealing with all the shit that came up. The Evil and Chris for joining me in the commentary box, and also for all you viewers for putting up with the bad streams and the stoppages and all this stuff. I hope you had a fantastic evening. Look forward to the highlight show. We are going to trial our highlight show with a special feature length, just highlights of the key moments of these games. Hopefully it come out sometime this week, so that should be an interesting one. And yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you for the final very soon. Bye-bye.